Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Do yourself a favor and come and join us by hitting that like, subscribe, and notification bell if you're new. And if you've been rolling with me for a while, hit the like button. Let's get right into it. I just want to briefly tell you guys what's going on for those of you that are at work. It's a lot going on. Friday, the markets closed. We had a ramp up to the market close, and then in the pre-markets, all of the indices were looking good. Everything was up: the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. It was truly a fake out. Soon as opening bell, it started to actually fall. So we could see here Dow falls 500 points at the time of filming this to session lows as Trump confirms Mexico and Canada tariffs to start Tuesday. All right, that is tomorrow, based on when you see this. Now, this was already a deal. The market seems like it was waiting for President Trump to pretty much call a bluff or kick the can down the road. So since he didn't extend it like he has in the past, now the market is spooked. Okay, and so we have a major sell-off going on yet again, and it has spilled over into crypto. Crypto has its own bullish and bearish things going on, but this is definitely not helping. All right, so as we could see, the indices are just selling off here. We got the Nasdaq, S&P, and Dow all selling off here. All right, so let's see what's going on, man. So now Mexico, look at that, makes a case to avoid the U.S. tariffs as it awaits Trump. Like I said on yesterday's video, Mexico is trying not to be in this mess. All right, so let me see if I can catch a quick clip for you guys.
So they seem to think that this is not really going to happen the way that it could in a couple of hours. What do you say?
You know, what I think we're seeing is a kind of a hyper acceleration of a trend that started 20 years ago, which is expanding the scope of trade agreements. What's really driving the decision tomorrow is fentanyl and immigration. And Mexico has done a pretty good job on both. Border crossings are dropping. Just recently, Mexico, what they call expelled a prisoner who's a notorious drug dealer who's been in jail for a long time. The U.S. is trying to get him for 30 years, and that's something that President Trump and President Sheinbaum just achieved. So it's a big win, and if the president is looking for a way to stall or to delay, that is an excellent opportunity. Another option is to apply tariffs, but perhaps more surgically and not as broad. So I think there's a way out on Mexico. It doesn't have to be the full 25%. Canada's tricky because we're talking about the relationship of the two leaders, and that's not very good. And that could influence. But it'll be interesting to see. I think there's a chance that with Mexico, it's either a partial tariff or maybe a delay.
So according to this gentleman, there could be something worked out with Mexico, which I do think it'll get worked out. Though the talks with Canada kind of fell apart a little bit, I believe that they'll work those out. Like I said on yesterday's video, hey, we were happy with the bounce that we got on Friday, and we were happy with crypto on yesterday's video. But I also cautioned that we should have caution as it pertains to crypto, because we need to see what they're trying to do on Friday, right? Sometimes these big promises and then they underdeliver. Now, China is another problem, and that's why I believe this market is acting the way it is, because of the tariffs in general, but especially with China as they threaten to retaliate.
The word from China.
Well, the word from China is that the Chinese government is threatening to take what it described as all necessary measures. So this is unlike earlier this month when China vowed corresponding countermoves to President Trump's February 4th 10% tariffs. So immediately after those tariffs had kicked in, China had come up with its own actions. So these included counter tariffs, export curbs on critical minerals, a blacklisting, as well as flagging a probe into individual U.S. companies. And these were seen as relatively mild, but that they sent a message of what Beijing could do. So investors here today dropped stocks. They were worried about the potential for escalation of tensions. The research house ANZ had said that with the March tariffs, the average U.S. tariff on Chinese goods could reach 33%. So it expects a hit to Chinese GDP. Now, the timing of these tariffs would also be quite interesting because it'd be coming in one day before President Xi Jinping heads into one of the biggest political gatherings of the year in this country, the National People's Congress. This is a time when the Beijing leadership unveils what the economic blueprint for the year is going to be. So there is very likely going to be many investors looking to see if there's going to be more mention of stimulus.
So now you got the Chinese government mentioning stimulus, but they are actually going to get hit, and it's going to affect both of our GDPs, gross domestic product. Now, so even Warren Buffett said this tariff is an act of war. This is what he was talking about. For those of you that didn't think there's going to be any retaliation, that President Xi was just going to lay down and take it, I don't know what you've been listening to, because it just does not work this way. I'll continue to say this. A tariff is a tax on the people. All right. It has to get worked out. So now we're feeling the pain. We're just beginning to start to feel the pain in the stock market, but now let's see. This is going to be an ugly week, but I also believe, and I also believe that Tom Lee said the same thing, that this week will probably bottom out in the market, in the stock market, and it could, I don't have a crystal ball, it could bottom out the crypto market also. As a matter of fact, let's listen to what Mr. Tom Lee has to say still about his projection. Now, I know I showed you guys a prior video on Tom Lee. He was just talking about where he thought the bottom was going to get before the rebound. So let's listen to him now.
What do you want?
Yes. I would say what's interesting is Bitcoin's not had negative headlines in February, but it was down. But I know our technician, Mark Newton, had talked about this being a cyclical downturn in Bitcoin through the end of March. So he was talking mid-January, getting down to 62. The weekend...
105 to 62. That's just Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a typical...
Do the math, though. It's like, in a month, 105 to 62.
Yeah, that's a test of the resolve
that
of
hurts
bulls, right?
people that buy at 105.
Yeah, but as you know, Bitcoin makes all of its gains in 10 days. So if people sort of try to time this, they're going to miss out on a chance for Bitcoin to go back to its highs.
And by the end, at some point in this year, you think it gets... Because last year you thought it might get to 150 or even higher, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to do better than 150 this year.
You do?
Yeah.
U.S. dollar?
Yes.
What? 150?
Hungarian forint?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I don't know. Something that's a lot less than $150,000. That's it's a lot better than higher than 150.
That's right. Because it's becoming more widely held.
Yeah.
If Citadel starts trading it, it starts to have more broad acceptance.
Okay. Tom Lee, thanks.
Remember, they were, they were saying the same thing when Bitcoin was 20,000 and 24,000, and then it got to 50,000. Then when it got to 50,000, they said, hey, it was on the sugar high. And Tom Lee kept saying, hey, it's going higher. And they just kept chuckling. And here we are even now with the pullback. We're above 80,000, okay? But we've given back a lot today, as we could see right here. Bitcoin is down to 86. It was actually down to 85 when I first tuned in. And we could see that for the last 7 days, it's still down by 8%. And all of that was given back today. We were doing well, right? And then look at Ethereum over the last 7 days. It's actually tanking 20% down, and it's supposed to be in this reserve, all right? So just like that, Tether Tether goes above XRP just like that. So XRP gave up a lot of the gains that it had on yesterday, but all is not lost. We need to see what's going on with this, all right? So look at it, Solana, down 17% today. Look at that, Bitcoin down 8 and Solana down 17. You got stock like MicroStrategy that was absolutely cooking this morning and pretty much gave back all of its gains just like that. So what I'm going to end this by telling you is that you have to stay focused on the news story. You got to stay focused on the news story. Now, if the tariffs end and talks start to get better with Mexico and to me, more importantly, China, then things could turn around. We don't know. No one has a crystal ball. The president already knows what he's going to do. Don't think he don't. All right. These are all negotiating chips. The whole tariff things is negotiating chips. OK, but now let's see if he delivers or fail Friday the 7th as it pertains to this crypto reserve. Now, because he has so many, it's going to be heavily weighted. Right? So we got to see what's it's heavily weighted in. Is it going to be more heavily weighted in Bitcoin, or is it going to be more heavily weighted in some of the altcoins? You see what I'm saying? Is it going to be heavily weighted in ADA? If it was heavily weighted in ADA, that would not make any sense. You understand, good people? So he's got some smart people around him. Let's see what he's going to do. Let's see if he listens. Right now, you know, yesterday we were like, hey, and today was like, oh. So, all right, good people. Hey, make sure you check out, let's see if I can find it here. Make sure you check out my money moves. It's going to be the top link below. I have it on dark mode. So we got the money moves. We got the classroom where I just want to take you guys with me on this journey to learn how to chart, how to make money, how to do options. We're going to do mostly charting so we can understand how to do anything, okay? Live room, and we got the bonus room where I give my plays, good people. So this is my Money Moves Stock Crypto Club. It's going to be the top link below. So I will be here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for now, so as I ease back into this. But in Money Moves, I'm in there. My main days are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But until I get everything back up, I'll be in there Monday through Friday every day because I can just get on my phone and just do that from anywhere. Follow? All right, good people, I'm going to leave it right there. Listen, we got to exercise caution because we don't know what the president is going to do with the tariffs, and we don't know what he's going to do with the crypto, okay? And so we are at his mercy. I keep telling you guys that don't believe it. Politics has a grip on everything. Politics has their hands in our pockets and their hands on our crypto and our stock, okay? And so now we're at the mercy. We got to see what's going to happen. At the end of the day, I believe that both are going to be okay. But man, looking at the red after the green just don't feel good. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment. All right. I will see you here Wednesday. Money Moves. I'll be seeing you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.